work for 3 or 4 in the morning, and you sometimes have to feed the children sugar water in the night to keep them from crying and hunger. Nobody talks about that. And that is why this year Labour Day, we have decided to once again hold Labour Day in Cuba, in Central, to celebrate and recognize the actions of the workers in sugar in 1934, who started it in Esperanza and it spread like wildfire through the length and breadth of the country. And when 15,000 of you, if not you, your fathers and your fathers before them and mothers, would have put this country on standstill. And because of your actions and the actions of Africans and Indians in sugar, because of the actions of people in South and Central Trinidad and parts of North Trinidad or the Global State, for example, you had a commission of inquiry being set up. And when that did not solve the problem, then you had the riots taking place in 1957. And so I have always asked the question. I asked it to NATU, I asked it to JTUM, I asked it to all the other labor leaders in this country. I said, how come you only celebrate one event, but you don't ever mention the struggles of sugar in 1954, which was before 1957? How come you don't mention that? And so this Labor Day, what I have done is that I have invited people as much as possible to come out and celebrate themselves. Celebrate the struggles that you would have to endure, that you would have gone through in the past to enjoy what you enjoy today. I asked them, I said, what about the 52 strikes and demonstrations that took place in this country between 1880s to 1917? Nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about the battles in sugar. And this is something you would know. I have spoken to the last government meeting after meeting after meeting. And I told them, you must recognize the sugar workers, the ex-cavalry workers, and those who have laid the foundation for radicalism and trade unionism, and for enjoying and fighting to get things not only for themselves, but the future generations that will come after them. And we were ignored, because I tell you this, no other group of people in this country have been so badly treated as the ex-cavalry workers. When it came to instituting a legal judgment that the UNC didn't do for 5 years, and now I have to struggle with the PNM. And my message to you tonight is to reclaim your history, to join me on Labor Day, to send a message to the PNM, as I did with the UNC, that we are not going to give up. We are going to send a message that come what may, we will continue the battle and the struggle to ensure that every single ex-cavalry worker and former sugar worker get what is due to them. That is really the gist of the battle, and I will tell you why. Yes, I've spoken about the historical dynamic, the struggles of 1954, the wholesale riots coming down. But people still don't know that there are 4,000 ex-cavalry workers to get their leases lands, both residential and agricultural. People don't know that there is no infrastructural development. People don't know that you have been denied a legal judgment for 13 years. It seems as though everything has come to a standstill. And I am to be blamed to an extent here. I am to be blamed, and I will tell you why. We fought and we fought and we fought. And coming down to the end, when they made every single promise they could to us, we believed it. Because I was genuine in my struggle, I thought they were genuine in saying that they would solve it for us. And many of you know, because I've said it over and over, 2 weeks before election and 2 months before election, and in fact the last Labor Day, we were promised everything under the sun. And that is why I allowed them to come to Labor Day on the last occasion. You know that, you were there. And we were promised the sugar welfare people will get back their money. We were promised that the pension ceiling will be raised so that cavalry workers would fall short by $850. We were promised the reserve pension fund. You know that last month, every single one of you was supposed to get $20,000 to $30,000. Cash in hand last month. That is when the reserve pension fund was supposed to mature. And that is the money that the UNC spent out for the 2015 nothing good. Because the UNC failed to do it. No one could have begged the PLN. We were promised everything under the sun, but nothing in writing. So when a new government took power, there was nothing legal for them to hold on to say that they have to leave. You know that? How many times I begged in meetings, I told you, I begged ministers to give you in writing documentation so that at the end of May 2016 you could go to Central Bank and get your $20,000. You hear me? You heard me? I begged them for that documentation and it was never given to us. So, this Labor Day, I want to march from Esperanza Reclamation Ground to Renzi Complex, where we will have a meeting and we are going to declare war once again on those who have taken us for granted. I make no apologies in telling you, on Labor Day 2016, I will deal with both UNC and the PM and call upon them to again, as I've done so many occasions, do what they have to do for the next 5 years. Because if I am realized, if I don't do it, nobody else will. And I tell you this, I heard the former government talking about paying farmers a few months ago. And I tell you this, they have no shame. So Kamala and Inder Singh and Ramrial and Paragat and Robin Charles and David Lee and Parade and Bob Singh, dare mention the word sugar is an insult to our people, both African and Indians, who have delivered in sugar. Because for 5 years, with a 29-seat majority, when you could have done anything with the Constitution and the Parliament, you will never settle. All you got was promises. And I always tell you, there comes a time when you have to stand up for yourself and stand up for your rights. Because anytime you continue to vote somebody or support somebody because they look like you, and anytime they know that in your mind you will say that you will see are dead or appear to are dead, believe me, you will always take it for granted. And you will always leave your children in distress. Because if you don't get it, your children will have to fight for it, and their children will have to fight for it. The reason why you never got what was good to you in the last 5 years, because many ex-town workers themselves called me a traitor. I was fighting for them to get what was due to them, but because I was fighting the UNC for them, to give their own supporters what was due to them, I was called a traitor. You must understand the psychology of it. Because what they saw was party, UNC. They didn't see it. They don't see the difference. A party is just a name, you know. It's just an organization. Sometimes it's made up of good people, and sometimes it's made up of bad people. And if it's made up of bad people who have certain interests, then you have to tell them the value. And that is what people fail to understand. So the very people I fought for were some of the very people calling on the radio stations and pandemic. And that is the thing in Trinidad that I can never understand. But it is so because of the nature of our politics. It's either PNM or UNC. And nobody then stands up for their rights. Because if you stand up for your rights under UNC government, then there is a PNM. And if you stand up for your rights under PNM government, then there is a UNC. But it doesn't work that way. Time has come, I'm telling you, to send a message once more. We have to reignite this battle. Because if we don't, then just as the UNC took us for granted, so do the PNM will take us for granted. We have to fight for every single thing that is due to us. Because it is getting later and later. 13 years have gone. No let another 5 years go on without standing up for your rights. Do not allow yourselves to be used and abused anymore, whether it be UNC or the PNM. And that is my message here to you tonight. On June 19th, I want to begin the battle once more and begin the war against both the government and the opposition and demand that they get together along the table of brotherhood in Parliament and take care of the 7,000 people who by a legal court order were given something by a court and government has passed and president has refused to give it to you. You have to stand up there, guys, but never in the history of this country, has subsequent governments reached a court order and allowed to get away with it. And you won't solve it legally, because that would take the next 20 years. You have to get up and fight for it. So I am here tonight to ask you to join me on Labor Day when we march from Esperanza, Revolution Ground, to Renzi Complex for our meeting, to once again send a message and say, we have not disappeared into thin air, we are still here, and we will to start back the battle. And for those of you who come to the Renzi and park, or you come there and travel, we will have a shuttle to take you from the Renzi to Esperanza Ground, where we will march from Esperanza to Renzi and have that meeting. And I tell you this, you may agree with me, you may disagree with me, you may not support me. I've always said, one person stand up, especially in Central Africa, where the bulk of the ex-Caribbean workers are supporters of the UNC, and tell them without fear and without favor whether they are doing it or not that the UNC declared in the last 5 years. Because we never gave to what we were supposed to do. And that is the message I'm going to send on June the 19th, 2016 at the UNC Complex. You betrayed them, you better go follow that stuff. Because we will take the streets away as we have done before, demanding everything that is with us. So I hope that I will see you there on June 19th. Like I said tonight, was simply an invitation thing. And I want to thank you for coming out. Because by coming out and sitting and listening to the invitation, you could now talk to others and spread a message that we cannot remain quiet. We fought in the last 5 years, we have to continue to fight in the next 5 years. But before this year is over, Clarence Lambola made a promise. He said every single ex-colony worker will get what is due to them in terms of their land leases. We have to hold to that promise. And the only way to hold to that promise is to once again unite as a band of brothers and sisters and do what we have to do as one. So ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I thank you for coming to hear my invitation, and I look forward to seeing you on Labor Day when we will march together and deal with them together, and once again start the battle to get what is in us. I thank you very much.
Let me get again for the President and the leader of the ANC. Again, brothers and sisters, as the President reminded you, we have a shuttle service from Renzi to Esperanza, and to inform people that they will be transported if they reach at the Renzi complex. Those who are visiting can park their vehicles at the Renzi and be shuttled from here. So I want to thank all of you who have come out and continue to support us, and I expect to see you there. Thank you very much, and good night. Yes, brother.
The march will begin at approximately 10 a.m. from the Esperanza Revolution Ground. So anyone coming to the Renzi Complex is hoping to really come out 9:30, so that you could be shuttled to Esperanza and then march from there. So if you come with a vehicle, you could park the vehicle at the Renzi, so when you finish the march, you can ride it. So you don't have a problem with that. The meeting itself should begin about 11:30 to 11:45. So those who may not be able to march for whatever reason, but you wish to come to the meeting and join us to start that battle, you could be at the Renzi about 11:30 and wait for us to come in, and then we will have the meeting when we come in. So the timing is about, it begins at 10 at Esperanza. I think 9:30 is at the time that we are at the Renzi Complex. Any other questions regarding the timing? Or anything like that? Of course, I'm still waiting for police permission. Now, if I don't get police permission, I will be starting the march on Esperanza Revolution Ground alone. And all of you who are with me will be marching behind me in single file, and I don't know who you are. It's not a march. We just march to the Renzi Complex, if you understand what I'm saying. So every single one of us will be marching to the Renzi marshals on. And I told General Secretary, make sure you have enough bail money if it is. So, I don't want to see you there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and God bless you. Have a safe journey.